Society puts a lot of pressure on us, especially my age range, so, 20s, to find a purpose in life, to find the sort of purpose that we can employ ourselves with, put on our resumes, stamp ourselves and label ourselves with, and say, this is how I am going to serve the world, this is my purpose, in quotes like that. I'm doing air quotes, purpose. And I don't think that's real purpose. And not only that, I think real purpose is a lot easier to find. It's a lot simpler than that. It's a lot quieter, a lot gentler, and you might be a lot closer than you think. Because in a sentence, what I think real purpose is the unwavering desire to better your own life and better the lives of those around you. And if you have those two things, not only are you gonna have that real purpose and that real fulfillment, but that is the path to real peace. And I say this as somebody who has been chasing that for a very long time and really trying to figure out what gives, what's the secret to it? Because, some people say, just wake up and choose peace or something like that. And, that's, I don't want to call it stupid, but, that doesn't work, man. That's never worked for me. I can't just wake up and choose peace. It doesn't work like that. It's a boulder that you just keep pushing up a mountain over and over. It's like Sisyphus, the guy who just pushes the rock and it falls back down. It's basically like that. You're just going to keep pushing that rock. The only difference is between me and Sisyphus. When I push that rock, sometimes over time it makes progress. I am proof that you can make progress towards finding that peace. And look, here's what real purpose looks like. It's when you wake up every day because you want to do things. You want to have fun. You want to experience life. You want to learn new things. It's when you can make yourself a shoulder for those around you to lean on. You can be strong for them. You can be a place of safety for them. And ideally that goes both ways. It's when you start doing little acts of kindness for strangers, just because you want to help them, just because you want to make the world a better place, just because you care about them, even though you don't know them, not because you feel like it's demanded of you or you feel like society has placed some obligation on you to do that. No, just because you want to. And real purpose is when you realize you can be infinitely better at all of those things, and you just want to keep trying, you want to keep pushing that boulder up that mountain. And I'll tell you something, the happiest people that I've ever known, the most at peace people, the kinds of people that make me happier by just virtue of me being able to be around them, those are the kind of people that don't advertise themselves as having a purpose in life. They're not the kind of people that tell you their entire resume the second you meet them. They're the kind of people that their employment history, the things they've done in the world, are almost an afterthought. Just compared to them as a person, just compared to their daily actions, the tiny things that they do. Because they're the kind of people that, by the nature of having found that peace for themselves, they want to share it with everybody else. Purpose can be quiet, it can be gentle in the shadows, it doesn't need to be in grand gestures that you're really only making to prove something to yourself and to prove something to society and to the world because you feel like you're supposed to do that. Purpose can be in the strength that you carry to help those around you without announcing it. And the thing is, improving your life isn't some big, massive change that you're going to make all at once. It's the tiniest of actions that you just make day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. It's the tiny choices. It's deciding that I'm going to have a healthy breakfast this morning instead of eating something that's going to make me feel like trash for the rest of the day. It's deciding that I'm going to go on a walk right now instead of watching videos or playing video games or whatever else. It's deciding that I'm going to get some of this work done in advance. I'm going to do it now so that way I'm not pressed for time tomorrow and the day after. It's deciding to pick up the phone and call that person that you haven't talked in a while that you've really been meaning to check in on. And it's repeating those actions day after day after day until you start to build them up into a life that looks more like the life that you want to be living. If you keep trying, that is the purpose. That unflinching, unwavering determination to keep trying, to keep pursuing your peace. That in itself can be purpose. The things that you dream of doing, that's a kind of purpose too, but it's a different kind of purpose, and it needs to be treated gently and carefully and balanced with the kind of purpose that really brings peace. And I say that because I know that. I'm lucky enough to have found the sort of things that I want to pursue in life, the sort of things that give me more of a traditional path that I can say, this is my purpose. Like if somebody asked me, what do? I have an answer to that. I have an answer to what I want to be in life. But the thing is, that's not the kind of thing that brings real peace. That doesn't push the boulder up the mountain for me. And in fact, if I'm not careful with it, if I'm not gentle with it, it becomes a chore, it becomes a burden, and it will take and take and take away from your peace. And I'll give you an example, okay? I have dreams, I have things that I want to pursue, and I have a lot of ideas for them. And I'm always worried that I'm not doing things quickly enough, that I'm not going to be able to achieve all of the things that I want to achieve in life by the time I die. And that's the kind of thing that literally keeps me up at night. I have so many ideas, so many things that I have to wake up and write down of, I want to do this, and I have this idea for this thing that I could do. That is not peace. That is actively taking away from my peace. And, I drew boxes around this when I wrote it down because this is important. It becomes an act of balance. It becomes an act of discipline because you want to prevent one from overshadowing the other. It's good to have dreams. It's good to have things that you want to achieve in life. That's a good thing. But you have to be careful with it because if you want peace at the same time, if you want to have both, and I think you can have both. I think you can have purpose and I think you can have peace too. I think you can have your cake and eat it too. But it has to be an act of balance. You can't let your dreams and your desire to achieve them overtake your peace and overshadow the peace that you're working so hard to keep. The purpose that will always remain, the purpose that will always be there, is the desire to keep finding that peace, to keep getting back to that peace even when it's torn away time and time again. The desire to keep pushing the boulder up the mountain. So look, you might be a lot closer to real purpose than you think. You might not need that direction in life, that magical direction that society tells you you're suddenly one day going to wake up with, this path that you can pursue. You probably don't even need that. If you focus on yourself and you focus on those around you day after day, that is going to be real purpose. That is going to be real peace. As opposed to trying to pursue nebulous things that end up just being more achievements that you stack on the list. To me, this made a big difference to sort of distill this stuff down and realize it, write it down, that sort of thing. So, anyways, I'll see you next time. Peace.